Most people are trying to be responsible with credit cards, but they're following the wrong deadline. If you pay your bills in full every month and your score still isn't improving or worse, it's dropping you're stuck in a reporting cycle you don't control. This audit is for the American consumer who does everything right and still gets labeled fair or average. You're going to learn the mechanical difference between being a good borrower and looking like a good borrower to a machine. This is credit score explained through institutional logic. Today, we break the system down. First, we identify the hidden deadline that matters more than your due date. Second, we reframe how the system interprets your daily spending. Third, we install a payment routine that removes human error. What most people miss is this: your credit score is not a reward for good behavior. It's a measurement of perceived risk. Stay with me. Let's start with the math most people never see. Picture a typical setup. You have a credit card with a $5,000 limit. You run your entire life through it: gas, groceries, a $15 streaming subscription, a $60 gym membership. By the end of the month, you've spent $2,500. You have the cash sitting in your checking account. You pay the full $2,500 every single month, always on time. In your mind, you have zero debt. In your mind, you're doing everything right. Now look at it from the system side. The bank doesn't report your payment date. It reports your balance on the statement closing date. If your statement closes on the 10th and you pay on the 25th, the system sees you at 50% utilization. That's it. The algorithm sees someone consistently halfway to maxing out their card. It doesn't care that you paid it off later. It only cares about the snapshot. This is why perfect payers get stuck with average scores. The system doesn't see your effort. It sees your exposure. You're watching the due date like it's the finish line. It isn't. It's just the late fee cutoff. That's the trap. It feels normal because every other bill in your life works that way. Rent, utilities, insurance, pay by the due date and you're good. Credit cards don't work like that. The real deadline is the statement closing date. That's the only number that matters for your credit profile. Do this today. Pull up your last 3 statements. Find the line that says statement closing date. Write it down. Put it somewhere visible. That's your real deadline. Here's what that looks like in real life. Your statement closes on the 10th. Your payment is due on the 1st of the next month. You buy a new phone on the 9th. That balance gets reported on the 10th. Your score reacts before you even make the payment. Next trap. You wait for the bill before you pay. That's how most people operate. It feels logical. You wait for the statement, then you decide what to pay. But by the time the statement arrives, the damage is already recorded. You're letting the bank define your utilization. The fix is simple but requires discipline. Lower your balance before the statement closes. You don't have to zero it out, but you need it under control. Aim for around 10% or lower when possible. Do this today. Log into your card. Make a mid-cycle payment. Don't wait for the statement. Example: you have a $2,000 limit. You spent $1,800 on travel and shopping. Before the closing date, you pay $1,650. Now your reported balance is $150 instead of $1,800. Same spending. Completely different signal to the system. Next trap. You think on-time payments are enough. They're not. That's the baseline, not the goal. It feels right because every financial app celebrates it. You see a green check mark and think you're winning. But the system isn't grading effort. It's grading risk. High utilization, even if paid off, signals dependency. The fix is a mindset shift. Stop treating your card like a monthly bill. Treat it like a pass-through account. You're not trying to prove you can pay debt. You're proving you don't need it. Do this today. Check your utilization on each card. If any card is over 30%, you're failing the audit even with perfect payment history. Example: you carry $1,000 on a $1,100 limit every month, then pay it off. That's 90% utilization. The system reads that as stress, not strength. Next trap. You look at your total credit, not individual cards. You think averages protect you. They don't. You might have $20,000 total across multiple cards. One card has $2,000 on a $2,500 limit. The rest are at zero. You think you're using only 10% overall. The system sees one card at 80%. That one card drags everything down. The fix is to audit each card separately. Every card has to stay clean. Do this today. Identify your highest utilization card. Stop using it temporarily. Move spending to another card with more room. Example: a $400 balance on a $500 store card looks dangerous. It doesn't matter if you have $50,000 elsewhere. That single card signals risk. Final trap. You rely on one monthly payment. That's a willpower system, and willpower fails. Life gets busy. One big purchase at the wrong time, and your entire cycle breaks. The fix is automation and frequency. Split your payments. Pay before the statement closes. Pay again before the due date, or better pay weekly. Do this today. Set a reminder 3 days before your closing date. That's your audit day. Log in, reduce the balance. Example: instead of paying $1,200 once a month, you pay $300 every Friday. When the statement hits, your balance is small. The system sees low risk. Now zoom out. This isn't about morality, it's about data. The system doesn't care about your intentions. It only cares about what gets reported. High utilization tells the system you might be one step from trouble. It doesn't see your savings. It doesn't see your investments. It sees your revolving balance. If that number stays high at reporting time, you look risky. That's why someone earning less, but using only 5% of their credit, often has a higher score than a high earner running 70% utilization every month. The system rewards restraint, not income. Here's the paradox. You feel responsible paying large balances after the statement, but the system already judged you before you paid. You're being graded on a test you didn't know you were taking. The system doesn't reward the payment. It rewards the absence of debt at the moment of reporting. Here's your audit. This week, log into every credit account you have. Write down each statement closing date. Compare it to the due date. That gap is your danger zone. This month, move your payment timing. Pay 3 days before the statement closes instead of on the due date. Watch how your reported utilization changes. This year, automate it. Set balance alerts. Don't let any card drift high. Near a closing date, use a simple threshold, like to 10%. Now understand the structure behind all this. Credit bureaus work off reported snapshots from lenders. They don't see a continuous live feed, only reported snapshots. Those snapshots are batched. That's your statement date. Think of it like a monthly inspection. If your desk is messy when the inspector walks in, you fail even if it was clean all month. If it's clean at that moment, you pass even if it was chaos before. Your job is simple. Control what the system sees at inspection time. There's another layer. As your income rises, your limits rise. That creates a new trap. You feel comfortable putting large expenses on your card because you can pay them off. But if those charges hit the statement, your utilization spikes. Even temporarily, it can drop your score. That matters when you apply for loans, refinance, or get evaluated for new credit. It's not about how fast you pay it off. It's about what gets reported. And then there's autopay. Autopay protects you from late fees. That's useful. But it locks you into the due date. By the time autopay triggers, your balance is already reported. So, yes, autopay keeps you safe, but it doesn't optimize your score. You still need a manual or scheduled payment before the statement closes. Finally, the psychology. Why does the system punish you for using what you were given? Because usage predicts risk. People who consistently use high percentages of their credit tend to be treated as higher risk. The system doesn't care if you're different. It sees patterns. High usage equals higher risk. So if you want to win, you don't fight the system. You adapt to it. You behave like someone who doesn't need credit. You spend, but you erase the signal before it's reported. That's the game. Now I want to hear from you. What's one rule you followed that turned out to be a trap? Did you know your closing date mattered more than your due date? Drop it in the comments.